You've been a band leader your whole life.
Yeah.
Tell me that, and what position did I put you in that in your whole everyday life?
Put me on the outside. That's what it did. You know, the band leader is not part of the band. It's a whole different dynamic, you know. And I do leave my stage persona on stage, but the person I am is who I am, and I'm a band leader. I think I have leadership skills, you know. To get three musicians in a room together to work at music without pay is a very difficult thing to do, but I managed to always do it. You know, I always emphasize on the songs. It's not about me, it's about the song, and it needs to be, you know, treated with respect. You know, but it's not easy. I've gone through a lot of different musicians to try to find the right ones, and you know, I'm not saying that I didn't find the right ones, but I never really found the right ones all together. Apart from when I'm recording, and when I'm recording it's a little different. You know, I've played with professionals in the studio, and you know, I got them to play live at times, but you know, again, I don't have a budget, so yeah, leadership skills. I must have some, you know. But I believe in my songs, you know, and you need to believe in yourself, and you need to believe in the music you're creating. And somebody else that doesn't see it, well, screw them. That's it, you know. That's how I feel about that.
Do you feel that performance is your life's ambition?
Well, yeah, for sure, because, you know, I love playing and writing and recording, but for me it was always about the live performance, the stage. You know, I think that you know, without using the cliche, I was born to be on the stage. Stage is for extraordinary people, and you know, nowadays we've got a lot of imposters. Well, there's always been imposters, but you know, they show themselves eventually, and they have to go. It's just that simple. What was that question again? What did you just ask me?
You feel that performance is your life's ambition?
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's performing arts. That's what it is. It's an art form. To get on stage and play music it's extraordinary when you think about it. You know, a lot of people do it, but a lot of people don't belong there, as far as I'm concerned. You know, ye shall be known by your fruits.
Tell me more about your recording studios.
Well, yeah, I had Park Slope, Brooklyn. I had a really great studio. I had a 2-inch 16-track Scully. I had a great console. My partner he wheeled and dealed in music equipment, and so there was always like plenty of toys, you know, microphones, compressors, reverbs, and it was all high end. And I was just getting my feet wet, you know, cutting my teeth, and then disaster hit. But we'll talk about that again.
You played with and hung out with some heavy hitters in New York City. How was that like?
Well, you know, you're not going to find these people in Albany, New York. You know, you're not going to find them anywhere else except a major center of you know, art. New York City was, for a long time, a major center of art. It's turned into a marketplace. That's what it is. You know, it's like you don't really have the opportunity to express yourself creatively when you're stressed out about paying the rent, and it's gone through the roof, and that's why all the clubs closed down in downtown and all moved out to Williamsburg, Brooklyn, you know, Hipsterville. And maybe I'm just too old school for that, but it never really, I thought it was pretty much a phony scene, to be honest with you. Yeah, I've played with some great people, you know. I've played with Irish musicians, you know. The drummer from the Saw Doctors did it in my first album, Johnny Donnelly, great guy. And then I met Arno Hecht from the Uptown Horns at a street festival, and we hit it off, and I didn't even know that he had done a world tour with the Rolling Stones. And I did several shows with Arno, you know, in the city, and he recorded some tracks in the studio. And then I wound up meeting Steve Holley, ex-Wings drummer, Ian Hunter's current drummer. Steve's a great guy. We became really good friends, actually. And I recruited him for another artist. One of my mentors, actually, Greg Garing, this bluegrass protege. You know, Greg's phenomenal at what he does. And he mentored me. I learned a lot from him. But I was kind of taking care of stuff for him. Say, like, you know, just an intern management thing, which I could never do for anybody, actually, because I could barely manage myself. But I helped Greg out, you know, and he had a really important gig to play at Joe's Pub, and they set up a rehearsal with this drummer, who then turned out to be a flake, and didn't even know what night the rehearsal was, and I was doing something else, and I had to stop what I was doing and go down to the studio. And, you know, the guy tried to turn it around on me, and I was like, no, dude. You know the truth. Why are you bullshitting me and these other two guys, Greg Garing and Jonathan Wilson? And he says to me, hey man, you're getting kind of aggressive. And I was like, no, I'm getting aggressive, not kind of aggressive. Like, you're fucking me over here and you're fucking everybody else over. I don't know what your problem is. His name was Bill. So he walked away, and Greg said to me, great, Lynch, you just fired my drummer and I've got a gig in 3 or 4 days. I was like, don't worry about it. I'll find you a drummer, a better drummer. And I went through my phone book and I called this guy that was doing some Broadway stuff, and a really great drummer. I'm sorry I lost touch with him. Larry something was his name. And he gave me Steve's number. And I called Steve and I told him about Greg and the gig. And he said that he knew who Greg was. He didn't know his music, but he'd heard about him. And you know, they played the gig that night at, I think it was Chennai. Yeah, it was Chennai down on Ludlow. No, not Ludlow, but that area, Turney, I think. And I hit it off with Steve, and then I asked him could he come down to the studio and record with me.